welcome to 5-minute lessons with Chief. This is video number 16, and in video number 15, from the single slip from the Eskrima, we did the downward X strike. Okay, so in this video we're going to look at the upward X strike. So it's the opposite to the downward. So I just want to say before we start a little bit about delivering the strikes. So this is a stick, this is a sword, and you can see clearly here a sword has an edge on one side. So when we're delivering, even if it's a downward X strike, you're delivering with the cutting edge of the blade. And the cutting edge of the blade is in line with the knuckles of the fingers. You see here, when I hold the fist, the knuckles of my fingers are in line with the cutting edge of the blade. So automatically when I have a blade in my hand, that cutting edge is forwards toward the target. And that's led by the knuckles of the fist. So when I have a stick, I want to keep the same process. I use the knuckles of my fist as a simulated edge of the blade. Although this is a stick, the delivery method is pretty much the same. So to get good lines in your strikes, you want to treat it as if it's a blade, and you're following along with the knuckles of the fist as the leading edge of your weapon. That's going to give you nice clean strikes and give you good mechanics throughout your motion. So when we're doing the upward X, it will be the same thing. As I fire the upward X upwards, I'm leading with the knuckles of the fist as the leading edge of the blade. And it's the same when I use a stick. I follow the knuckles of the fist as the leading edge of the simulated blade. So what we need to look at now is the upward X. So when you do the downward X, we start in a high open chamber. For the upward X, we're going to start in a low open chamber. And I'm going to deliver a diagonal upward strike from the right hand hip side up to my left shoulder. Then I drop down to my left hip on the closed side, and I deliver a diagonal upward line from my left hip to my right shoulder, and I come back to the position I started. So we're here, up on the forehand, drop to the closed position, and then up on the backhand and drop down again to the open position. So we're going up and up. And once again, these two lines are intersecting in the centre here of the X. And I'm delivering this upward X strike, which is the opposite to the downward X strike, in this fashion. If I have my leg forwards, right leg forwards, again I'm using good body mechanics to get the flow of the weapon in delivering this upward X. Now, just as with the downward X, we can do this in a set of 3, and that's going to allow us to change from the open position to the closed position on the delivery method. So from here, I go 1, 2, 3. Now I'm in closed low chamber. 1, 2, 3, and I'm back in the chamber on the open side. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, and 3. So that's the upward X. Now just with the downward X, if you remember we did this half strike through the structure, we can do the same on the upward. So I'll go 1, 2, and I strike up on that second line twice. So again, I'll go 1, 2, and I loop it back on itself and bring it back up that same line. That'll bring me to the same side. 1, 2, upwards. Position. 1, 2, upwards. And 1, 2, upwards on that same line. From the closed position, it'll be the same. I'll go 1, 2, and then I'm going to go upwards. So again, here I go 1, 2, and up on that second line. Again, 1, 2, and upwards on that second line. So that gives me 3 counts on the open side, 3 counts on the closed side. So if I want to alternate it, I have to add in that 4th strike now. So I will go 1, 2, 3, and come across. Now I'm in the closed position. 1, 2, 3, and then I come back across to the open position. So again, from the forehand position, 1, 2, 3, then I'm going to come across. And from the backhand position, 1, 2, 3, and then I come back across to the open position. So that's working the upward X, 3 beats to take you from open to close, or from close to open, and then 4 beats to give you the additional strike on the same line before going across to the closed position. And again, 1, 2, 3, and then going back across to the open position. So that's working the upward X from Filipino Eskrima single stick. See you on the next video. Train hard, train safe.